When it comes to the summer months, what on earth do we do in the garden? Is it too hot to garden? Or how do we get that overlap from the end of spring and when the heat starts coming? So, there are a few things that you really need to know. This is what I'm going to go through. How to get rid of those pesky weeds. They seem to be coming up all over. How do you fix the lawn? What to plant to give us that blaze of colour even in the heat. There are a few things that you need to do. I'm going to show you how to get it right, plus one or two others. Follow me and I'll show you how. Guys, when it comes to holes in the lawn, well, we've all got them. We've either got a hole where the dogs have been kind of adventuring, or we might have some dongas where literally we might have laid the instant lawn a bit incorrectly. How do we get rid of them? And the best time to do it is right now. When temperatures are warming up, the grass is starting to grow, and your recovery period is so much easier. So here's a quick fix, how to get it right. So the first thing that we're going to need is some fertilizer. Now, folks, this is really a preference. You can either use a 2-3-2, or you can go with an organic blend, something like Atlantic Bio for lawns. And what I do is literally, you're going to take it, all right, and you are going to sprinkle a bit over the area. Nothing complicated about this. If you are using 2-3-2 and it's not organic, now please listen carefully. If it's not organic, you then need to apply a lot of water. If, however, you are using an organic fertilizer, you don't even need to water once this process is done. Next up we need is lawn dressing. And folks, please, there is no alternative to lawn dressing. Please understand that. It's not the leftover potting soil that you found in the garage. It's not the dead plant and you've shaken the soil off it. Lawn dressing has been formulated to put on the lawn. It's light. It's been sieved to have a very, very small piece of bark. It's got a bit of additives in it, some river sand, and it's weed-free. So very important to rather invest the money and buy 1 or 2 bags of lawn dressing. And then we use a DIY implement. It's a spirit level, and all you do is you use your existing lawn on either side so that you can get it nice and level. There we go. And you know, with lawn growing so quickly, literally within a week, you will see this emerging. And in the area where the donga was, obviously that's just going to grow and close through. If you've got bigger dongas, all right, where your lawn is low-lying, please do not put a layer of more than 3 centimeters of topsoil. If you do more than that, the lawn won't be able to make it through and you'll literally kill the lawn. And then, because I can and I want to, I'm going to water this because it's the best part of any gardener's work. And simply give it a good soaking and your job is done. When it comes to weeds in the lawn, well, it's all out war. And I get you, and I'm with you on that one. Because when they emerge, boy, you are frightened and horrified by the amount of weeds that there are. And the problem is, during winter, the weeds really take over because they cope with the cooler climate. And the grass, of course, slows down. So when summer arrives, you're like, oh my word, what happened? I blinked and it all went pear-shaped. These are the bad boys, broad-leafed weeds. We find them all over, whether you live on the coast or whether you're up in the Highveld, and there are various forms of them. And the one way that you can get rid of them is with a selective herbicide. Now, it's important that you ask for the word selective when you go to purchase your product, because there are many on the market that will kill everything. The next thing is to read your instructions, and most of them say 50 milliliters into 5 liters of water, which should get spread over 100 square meters. So 100 square meters is 10 big steps that way, 10 big steps that way, mark it out, and that's your area. If, however, you don't have such a big area, and I just want to nuke 1 or 2 here in my lawn, how do we do it? Without complicating it too much, it's pretty simple. You want to spray on a hot, sunny day, windless day, because if this has to carry across to your flowers, it'll kill them too. Or even worse, across to your neighbor. And the most important thing, keep your cats and dogs off the lawn for an hour. That's all you need, 1 hour until it's dried. You don't need to stress any further. And then, this is how we go about it. It's really important that when you're applying the spray, especially in selected areas, that you only go over the weeds once, in one single motion. So guys, when it comes to weeds in paving, on your driveway, or even in your garden bed that you want to get rid of. And especially when I'm talking about are those dreadful little onion weeds with the white flowers on the top. But right here I've got a perfect example of it. We have got weeds growing in amongst some gravel, and that's just irritating me to death. So what do? We use some of this stuff. It's Roundup gel, and it's pretty simple. You just click it here, and all you do is you touch it. Just touch the weed. And this weed's going to be dead in like 5 days' time. Next one, all you do is click and touch it. You don't have to smother the plant in the gel, please, very importantly. It's not like you're trying to cover entire leaf. The important thing as well is that it only kills the weed that it applies. It does not affect the soil around it, so in your garden beds you can confidently use it. And especially what comes to mind is garden beds with roses full of perennials, and you get 1 or 2 weeds popping up that you don't want to be there. Give it a try, it works like a charm. So how do we get loads and loads of colour in our late spring, early summer gardens? Well, it's pretty simple. You've got to put the stuff in now. And if you don't put the stuff in now, you're not going to have that blaze of colour that we all want during the wonderful summer months, hanging out in our garden with those gorgeous evenings. So what can we use? These guys are magnificent. These are bedding begonias, so you get them in little packs, in little 6 plants per pack. And you get the brown leaf ones and the green leaf ones. Folks, the brown leaf ones can grow in full sun. The green leafed ones prefer a bit of shade. Gazanias. I mean, these are just beautiful. Look at them. They are so, so cute. They smile at you. Look at the insides here. Great for full, hot, baking hot sun. So really tough customers. Good for beginner gardeners as well. And then our firm old favorites are the little marigolds. Always a good winner, and you know you can rely on them. Also good for planting in amongst the veggie gardens to chase away the hohos. And then these little boys, some of you will recognize them as the miniature variety from what our grandmothers used to plant. Yep, you're right, this is the zinnia. These are the little guys called Tom Thumb, and you get them in pinks, in a pale white and a cream, and they are simply gorgeous, even a bright orange. Also tough customers, much like the gazanias. Plant them in full sun. They only get about that big, 20 to 30 centimeters, and will flower right throughout the summer. And of course, the firm favorite that everybody should have in their garden is beautiful alyssum. One little plant grows to about 1 foot, literally that. You can't believe it. Flowers right throughout the summer, beautiful honey scent. When you smell them, it literally is so, so sweet. The bees and the butterflies love them. So go on and plant some of these, because they will ensure that your summer garden is going to be a riot of colour.